A Photograph is a beautiful poem by Charlotte Olson, which reminds us of the old memories which we are connected through old photographs. Similar is the poem which talks about a photograph of mother's childhood, and the poetess Charlotte Olson is getting nostalgic while looking at the photograph. I am discussing the contents of the poem. Starting with the first line, the cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. All three stood still to smile through their hair. I am describing up to this. So the cardboard, first word is the cardboard. Cardboard means an old unframed photograph which is worn out with the passage of time, and it must be mounted on an old photograph but was not framed. Moreover, cardboard is also symbolizing nostalgia, old memories which are created through this photograph, and the poet is remembering mother's childhood. Students, kindly remember this thing, that poetess is remembering her mother's childhood through this photograph. So the two girl cousins who went for paddling. Two girl cousins are mother's cousins. They went for paddling. Paddling means walking in shallow waters. Shallow is the water which is not that deep. So they went to a sea beach to enjoy their holiday. Now both these girl cousins, they are holding poetess mother's hands. Why they were holding her hands? Because she was the eldest one. Moreover, they are holding it for safety and security. But how old is mother? She is just 12 years old. So these three girls, they are standing still at the sea beach and posing for a photograph. All three are standing still and smiling through their hair. Why standing still? Because posing for the photograph. Who is taking the photograph? Who is capturing it? Uncle, who is holding the camera. And they are smiling through their hair. Through their hair means it was a windy beach, so their hair are scattered on their faces, but they are smiling. Moreover, one more point that need to be noted down. Literary device used in this sentence, all three stood still to smile through their hair, is alliteration. This is the poetic device, alliteration. Sound S has been repeated. Looking at the next paragraph, a sweet face, my mother's, that was before I was born, and the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. Now what the poetess wants to say through these sentences, through these lines, she is referring to mother's face, which is very sweet. Why sweet? Because it is childhood. It is depicting the innocence of the childhood, the happiness, joy, and the carefree childhood that she is enjoying at that point in time. Moreover, it was decades before the poet's birth. Mother herself is just 12 years old, and poetess, she is not born still. One more thing is visible there besides these three girls, which is the sea. It's also visible in this photograph. This has not changed even after so many years, because this is the part of nature and it is perennial, this is permanent, and it contrasts to the transient life of mother or the girls. What do you mean by transient? Which is changing with time, and these girls, the life has changed, and moreover mother has died by now. Transient is temporary. So human life is quite transient, contrasting sea, which is perennial, that is permanent. As their footprints are washed away by sea, similar is the human life, which is washed by the tide of time and death. Again, the literary device in this sentence, terribly transient feet, T sound has been repeated, alliteration is there. So in first two paragraphs, mother's childhood is described and is complete description of photograph, and transience, that is the temporary nature of human being, has been discussed as against sea, which is perennial. Next paragraph, some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot See Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Both thrive with the labored ease of loss. Very important. Now we are in the second frame of time. Now poetess is born. It's after so many years. Mother is recollecting her old good memories which related to her childhood. And now photograph is evoking laughter or happiness, and mother is feeling so happy looking at the photograph, and she is discussing the same with her daughter. What she would say: see Betty and Dolly. Now Betty and Dolly are the names of her cousins, mother's cousins. We need to remember these names, Betty and Dolly. These are the names of the mother's cousins. Now she was laughing at the way they were dressed. It means they were dressed very funnily at that point in time. Then, very important part of this paragraph: sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Sea holiday was mother's past, whereas mother's laughter is poetess' past. For mother, it was a happy childhood and she was getting nostalgic. But for daughter, mother is no more. She is having the same feelings for her mother and she is missing badly her mother. Both thrive with the labored ease of loss. Very, very important. Mother and daughter. Now both mother and daughter's losses are discussed here in this line. Both these losses were difficult to bear in the beginning, but they had to come to terms with life with the passage of time, because time is a great healer. Moreover, what cannot be cured has to be endured. Labored ease. In the beginning it was difficult, but it came easy with the passage of time, because though labored ease, too difficult, two opposite words have been placed together. Oxymoron has been used as a literary device, as a poetic device here. Last paragraph, which shows the impact of all this. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived, and of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. Its silence is. It's been long that the mother has died, and of this circumstance is the loss, the death of her mother. Poetess is falling short of words. She can't express her loss, and a void is created which cannot be fulfilled. A vacuum has been created in her life. Moreover, this death has created such a silence which is so profound, so overwhelming, that it has made everything silent. So this is what which has been discussed in the poem. Thank you.